heals without going in long fights, and on short fights spamming to your heart's content. Whereas stacking spell power, you'll generally need to be a little more conservative in your mana on heal spammy fights, which means while you might have the output of a god, you're lacking the ability to be flexible in this, to be able to say, oh, I can just spam as long as I want. You need to heal cancel a little bit more than someone that's 6 MP5, which does make a difference. Now, this is a bit for everyone, this next segment, which is Intellect to MP5, and why Intellect is godly for gems. Now, Intellect, through my theory crafting in the post containing the video, is proven to give, in a 5-minute fight, 6 MP5 per 10 points of int. This actually makes the Intellect gems give more MP5 than the MP5 gems, ironically, on top of the fact that most classes will get a bit of crit and a bit of healing power from this, making Intellect a very powerful stat to gem for. It is good for, I think, generally all classes from what I've seen, possibly not druids, I'm not too sure, I'll need confirmation on that, but I highly recommend with enchants and whatnot stacking as much int as possible. The next concept I'll be covering is the metagems Ember Skyflare and Insightful Earthsiege. Ember Skyflare, which gives a 2% bonus to Intellect, seems good because Intellect is so powerful in this expansion thanks to replenishment, but Insightful Earthsiege is way more powerful. This is evident in the theory crafting in this video, the post that is, of how much more powerful Insightful Earthsiege is due to its 5% proc and its 600 mana return. You will need at least 2500 intellect before you look at Ember Skyflare. The next concept I'll be covering is for Resto Shamans, which is Glyph of Lesser Healing Wave, one of the most useless glyphs except for on the fight for General Vezex, particularly for 25 man where you'll have 3 tanks generally. This means that the tank with your Earth Shield, if you're the only Resto Shaman, hopefully that will be the main tank, will be receiving extra heals from your Lesser Healing Wave. This is not too great on most fights because Blizzard is AoE happy. They like including AoE, which means chain heal's generally better. On top of the fact Lesser Healing Wave is generally a triage spell as opposed to a tank healing spell, unless you want to be mana efficient. I personally would use Healing Wave because of Healing Wave's stack. On top of this, tanks generally take large amounts of damage, so it's safer to put 2 healing waves on them and then cast a chain heal to maintain tidal waves and heal the melee while you're at it. This also means that you've wasted a glyph slot. You could use that glyph slot for something else that's not so goddamn situational, such as Water Mastery or Mana Tide if you're in a mostly caster group. The next thing I'll be covering is Haste versus Crit. Crit is fantastic for single target spells. Paladins, stack it as much as you want. It is a nice, hearty boost. The problem with crit is it's relied too much on. You should not rely on crit for your healing. Crit should be something that you get and you go, ooh, cool, I critted, he got a bit extra healing. Maybe it's overheals, maybe it's not, maybe it saved him, whatever. It shouldn't save him. You shouldn't rely on crit to save people. It gives you some mana back, whatever. Haste, however, is a constant thing that's helpful for everyone, even druids, because this means you can spam your spells that do not benefit from crit so much, such as Chain Heal or Wild Growth. Chain Heal in particular is terrible with crit because each bounce is calculated individually. So stacking haste is generally the way to go. The unfortunate thing about haste is it stacks logarithmically, which means each point of haste is worth less than the last, unfortunately. In conclusion to this video, I'm reminding you that examples of the healing concepts will be in later videos, and the theory crafting is included in the post. If you have any questions, please message me if you're on YouTube, or post a reply to this thread. And hopefully I'll see you in the next video, where I'll be displaying the strategy for Mimiron. You can watch them in any order, however, I don't really mind. Good luck in order, and I'll see you next time.